How can we cast the care without becoming lazy or complacent?
That's a very good question, because there's a balance here. And there's some people that just sit here and say, well, it's God's problem, and they don't even pray about it. They aren't open to God leading them. If you've got a problem, if you've got a family member that's sick, and you're trying not to take the care, and you're saying, Father, I know that you want them well. I'm trusting you. You need to still be praying about it, but just not praying about it in the way that I was talking against, where you are all of the care and the responsibility is upon you. You need to pray about it, but you need to pray about it in faith.
Yeah.
And that's more of a deal of maturity,
Yeah.
I think, than anything else. You have to just get to a place to where, Father, I'm listening. I still need an answer. This situation still needs to be solved, but I'm not anxious about it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think that it's Philippians chapter 4. It talks about, thinking on things that are honest, pure, lovely, and it talks about taking no anxious thought.
Yeah.
In other words, it's not wrong to think about your situation. You need to be thinking about it if you're in a crisis situation, but you need to pray about it.
Yeah.
Let me give you one last example. We just sent out a email about 2 weeks ago, and our ministry came into a crisis situation. And praise God, we're over it now, so I'm not saying this for any purpose to get you to do something. But we've had, in the first 2 months of 2019, we've had $2.1 million less in revenue than I had in 2018, and I believe it's because we finished our buildings, and people know this, and so they just aren't giving towards these buildings anymore. So anyway, we had $2.1 million less revenue. Well, I've seen this coming for about a month, or even maybe a little bit more than a month. And so I was praying about it, but I wasn't praying about it worried and anxious. And so I was looking at the problem, but I wasn't worried about it. And finally, it just came to a place where my CEO contacted me while I was on vacation in Cancun. And he says, we've got about 7 to 10 days worth of money, and we are going to be in trouble. And so anyway, I had to do something. So I prayed about it. And anyway, we dealt with it, and we put out a little email to some of our partners about this. And anyway, we've dealt with the situation, and we got in $1 million in the last 2 months, or 2 weeks extra. And so it's dealt with. So anyway, I had a problem, is what I'm trying to say. And I dealt with it. I thought about it, and I prayed about it, but it wasn't an anxious prayer. And I just wrote an email last night thanking our partners who helped us out of it. And I said, I knew it was going to work out. I just didn't know how it was going to work out and stuff. So you have to face problems. You don't ignore problems. You don't run away from it and say, I don't have a problem. You face them, but you face them in faith instead of in pride, where you take all of the responsibility and care for it upon yourself.
That's really good.